Whether it be through their ministry, whether they be through their friendship, they were there for us. And today, we are there for them. So we've got an awesome event planned for you this afternoon, filled with fun and games, and really getting to know each other. But before I introduce myself, I want to share just a couple housekeeping items. Is that all right? All right, well, the very first thing, the gift basket is over to my left, right in the back, right behind table 1. At any point throughout the ceremony, try to make sure you put your blessing into the gift basket. Your thoughts, your well wishes, and your support mean more than you can imagine to both Royce and Deepa. Secondly, almost all of us are glued to some type of electronic device. Statistics show that millions at any moment are taking a selfie at this very moment. I just made that up, but still, if you plan on taking any pictures, please be sure to use the hashtag Royce is Deepa in love. You guys get that? That's clever. I didn't think of it. Royce is Deepa in love. So whether you're posting a picture on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Shadi.com, it does not matter, whatever it might be, make sure you use the hashtag so that this very moment can live on in history for all the world to see, including Royce and Deepa. At the very same time, there will be a photo booth station that was so graciously provided by the families for our enjoyment and our entertainment. So I humbly ask that at any point throughout this ceremony, just be mindful that the photo booth station is in the back corner. Please make use of it. Get as many people as you can and make sure that you have an amazing time this afternoon. And finally, the beautiful thing about weddings is that it brings together people near and far, both family and friends, underneath one roof, which rarely ever happens, am I right? So today, I can guarantee that you don't know almost everyone that's at your table, right? You either know them or you just don't like them. Whatever the fact might be, make sure that you introduce yourself to almost everyone that's at your table. At the same time, I also challenge you guys that before you leave the reception hall today, make sure you introduce yourself to at least 10 people before you leave. I promise you that nothing would honor and respect Royce and Deepa more than 10 years from now when you connect with someone that you met at this very wedding and say that we met because of Royce and Deepa. Nothing means more than that to them. And on that note, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Alvin. I'm from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Do we have any Philly people? Awesome. I'm here and I have similar situations or experiences with Royce as most of you guys have. I grew up in Church of God with him and we went to conferences and everything together, just like most of you guys. And I'm so excited to be sharing this time and this special occasion with you guys. At this very same time, we have an incredible team right up top, on the top of the staircase, Mr. Thompson Verghese and Mr. Jacob, that's helping us with the music today. Let's give them a warm welcome. But enough from us. Who wants to see the bride and the groom? You guys aren't excited enough. Who wants to see the bride and the groom? Well, in just a moment, you guys will be witnessing something that has never before been seen. The very people in this room have been hand-selected, wonderfully picked, confidants, family, friends, lovers, whatever it might be. You guys were hand-selected to be here to witness for the very first time on God's green earth, Mr. and Mrs. Royce Rajan. Don't let that fool you, they're not coming out right now. But when the bridal party comes out, I want each and every single one of you to give a shout of praise to God for making everything so perfect in His time. And now, the very moment that you all have been waiting for, get hyped, get energized. As you make your attention go towards the back doors, you will see in just a moment, starting off, the parents of the groom, Reverend Rajan Skaria and Mrs. Soli Rajan. Reverend Abraham Martin and Mrs. Sosma Abraham. one and only David, Joanne, Madeline, and Olivia, the Bible bearer and the flower of today's ceremony. We got the bridal party, the group of men and women that created and molded, along with the parents and grandparents, who Royce and Deepa is at this very moment. First up, we have the best friend of Royce Rajan, Mr. Prince Matthew, along with Royce's cousin, Mrs. Lindsay Matthew. Make some noise for them. Up next, we got Mr. Somi Kurwala and Mrs. Christina Hansen, both cousins of the groom. Next up, we got the cousin of the groom and the cousin of the groom as well, Mr. Ronald Matthew and Mrs. Regina Matthew. Awesome, wonderful, wonderful. Next up, we got the cousins of Royce's, Mr. Jancy Koshi and Miss Jancy Koshi. Everybody make some noise for them. Next up, we have Deepa's brother-in-law and Deepa's older sister, Mr. Joel Thomas and Mrs. Praise Abraham. Next up, we have Deepa's brother-in-law and Deepa's other older sister, Mr. Jafar Cruz and Mrs. Jenny Abraham. And finally, I'd like to introduce the brother of the groom and the sister-in-law of Deepa, Mr. Royce Rajan and his brother. Without further delay, let's all turn our attention to the top of the staircase to welcome, for the very first time in the history of God's green earth, Mr. and Mrs. Royce and Deepa Rajan. I thank you all for your excitement and making that an absolutely memorable moment for both Royce and Deepa and the family as well. At this moment, we will be inviting Pastor M.A. Verghese, who will come forward and pray for the food.
Let us pray. സ്വർഗത്തിലും ഭൂമിയിലും സകല കുടുംബങ്ങൾക്കും പേർ വരുവാൻ കാരണഭൂതനായ ഞങ്ങളുടെ സ്വർഗീയ പിതാവേ, അവിടുത്തെ തിരുസന്നിധിയിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ മുട്ടുകുത്തുന്നു. ഇന്ന് പകൽ പ്രിയ റോയ്സ് മോന്റെയും ദീപാമോടെയും വിവാഹം നടക്കുവാൻ നീ സഹായിച്ചുവല്ലോ. നീ അവരെ തുടർന്ന് അനുഗ്രഹിക്കണമേ. തുടർന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇവിടെ ഒരുക്കപ്പെട്ട ഭക്ഷണത്തിനായി ഞങ്ങൾ സ്തോത്രം ചെയ്യുന്നു. അവിടുന്ന് അതിനെ അനുഗ്രഹിച്ച് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് തരുമാറാകണമേ. ഞങ്ങൾ ഭക്ഷിച്ച് ആ ബലം നിന്റെ നാമമഹത്വത്തിനോട് വിനിയോഗിപ്പാൻ യേശു ക്രിസ്തു മൂലം സഹായിക്കണമേ. ആമേൻ.
Thank you, Pastor. At this moment, we will be moving over to the cutting of the cake. One thing I'd request is the photographers come forward to get the best possible angle they can of this iconic moment. At the same time, any Instagram famous people who are hoping to get a really awesome artsy picture are able to come forward as well if they do so. At this moment, I'd like to request both Royce and Deepa to come forward.
Girl, I've been thinking about us, and you know I ain't good at this stuff, but these feelings piling up won't give me no rest. This might come out a little crazy, a little sideways, yeah maybe. I don't know how long it'll take me, but I'll do my best. You'll be my soft and sweet, I'll be your strong and steady. You be my glass of wine, I'll be your shot of whiskey. You be my sunny day, I'll be your shade tree.
Well, we thank you guys for your patience. At this moment, the salads will begin to make their way out. But while it's doing so, we wanted to have a little bit of audience involvement to really give some nice warm tips to the bride and groom on how to have a happy marriage. And so I'd like to ask for all married couples to please stand up in their seats. No one's married here, right? You guys all have a wedding. All married couples, please stand up. So as I ask a series of questions, you all will be sitting down one by one until we end up with just one married couple remaining. Fairly simple questions. If you've just gotten married, if you've been married for 1 to 5 years, please have a seat. If you've been married for under 7 years, please have a seat. If you've been married for under 10 years, please have a seat. You guys see where this is going, right? If you guys have been married for under 15 years, please have a seat. If you guys have been married for just under 20 years, please have a seat. If you guys have been married for 24 years or less, please have a seat. If you guys have just celebrated your 25th wedding anniversary, please have a seat. I'm looking at my parents. Or your 30th year anniversary, please have a seat. How many go? Ooh, okay. So now we gotta decrease the distance that we look as far as years. If you've been married for 32 years or less, please have a seat. If you've been married for 34 years or less, please have a seat. If you've been married for 35 years or less, please have a seat. If you've been married for 36 years or less, please have a seat. If you've been married for 37 years or less, please have a seat. If you've been married for 38 years or less, please have a seat. If you've been married for 39 years or less, please have a seat. Okay, if you've been married for 40 years or less, please have a seat. Oh, one went down, I'm sorry. If you've been married for 41 years or less, please have a seat. If you've been married for 42 years or less, please have a seat. How many do we have left? We only have one. If you've been married for 43 years or less, please have a seat. 44 years or less. 45 years or less. Wow. You have to be standing, that's amazing. Is this the remaining couple? Can you guys stand as well? Oh, we have more. If you've been married for 46 years or less, please have a seat. 47 years? How long have you guys been? Okay, how many years have you guys been married for? 47 years, and you guys? 45 years. That's amazing. Let's give them one more round of applause. Incredible. I would like to request if both of your families would be able to come forward right where I am and offer one piece of advice to both Deepa and Royce on how they would be able to sustain a marriage as long as you two did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your name, sir?
Peter Pablo.
Peter. What is the one piece of advice that you can give both Royce and Deepa at this very moment?
Always respect to one another. Pay attention to one another. Always look forward to please one another. Even if a difficult time comes, I would understand. We have to pay attention to my words and our words, what we say to each other. Because words are powerful tools. Always choose words. Even if you get angry or mad, choose words that you say before you say it. And your marriage will be blessed. God bless you.
I'm not crying, you are. Uncle, your name, sir?
John Quillian. Yeah. 3/4 strings would not easily be broken. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, mind and soul. And always give God importance, position in your life. And God will protect you and you will have a long married life. We wish you a better married life. You are last God. God bless you.
Thank you, Uncle. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We thank you guys for participating. Do you guys think that was helpful information? Royce, you already planned on doing that, right? All right. At this time, we're going to begin the speeches for the afternoon. First, I'd like to invite up both Mrs. Jenny Abraham, the oldest sister of Deepa, and Mrs. Praise Abraham, the older sister of Deepa as well, to share a few words of how Deepa impacted their lives growing up.
Hello, everyone. Can I hear a hello? Thank you. On behalf of our family, I'd like to welcome all of you today for Deepa and Royce's special day. For those of you who don't know us, my name is Jenny, and this is Praise. I am Deepa's oldest but much wiser sister, and this is Praise, our middle sister / brother. Right? All right. So, well, Deepa was always the baby of our family. She's the youngest and the most prettiest when she was a baby. So she would always show her puppy face. Can you show it now? There you go. So that face always works with our parents. So she would just get away with anything at all. So Deepa, now that we are here, do you remember the times you got both of us in trouble? All the times you got us in trouble. Now it's payback time. Oh, yeah. All right, so first up, There are so many funny stories, guys. There's so many funny stories about Deepa. But first off, we would like to tell her nickname to everybody, and that is Duck. Duck. And we call her Quack Quack. That's how you call Deepa. Quack Quack. And she will come. All right.
She's mad, the duck face comes out.
Every time she's mad, like a duck face. Oh yeah, that's why we call her the duck. All right. So with the stories, when in school, Deepa was a shy kid. She will go to school, but she would not talk to anybody. Nobody at all. She wouldn't say any word. So for kindergarten, her teachers actually came home because she had to graduate from kindergarten to first standard. So what we did is the teachers came home and then, did the test. So she sat on mommy's lap and she said, A, B, C. Teachers were like, my God, you talk. Why don't you talk at school? She smiled. So that's how she was when she was a kid, back in school. But coming home, she talks the most. She talks the most among all of us at home. So that's what Deepa is. Right now, she's grown up a lot from what she was then. Now she talks to everybody. So there are two things that's Deepa's favorite things. Now that Royce, you're the third, but I think. So first, yeah, she loves kids. I don't know if she's like a magnet. Everywhere she goes, all the kids run to her saying, Deepa Chichi, Deepa Chichi. So whenever we go from college to home, and we used to study in colleges far away, so we would see Deepa with tons and tons of kids. So every evening, kids would come home and learn maths and everything from Deepa, and Deepa would be the tuition teacher. At church, Deepa is the teacher, Sunday school teacher. So everywhere she goes, she would have tons of kids following her. Another thing that she loves is animals. She loves any kind of animal, let's say. So she has a dog, her name is Ruby. She has a rabbit, her name is Fluffy. She had to give away to one of her cousins when she came here. She had two birds. One is a duck and one is a chicken. We used to call the chicken P.T. Usha. How many of you know P.T. Usha? Come on. Indian star. Why we call the chicken P.T. Usha is because the chicken runs very fast, super fast. So we used to call, where's P.T. Usha? And the chicken would just come. So that was Deepa's favorite chicken. One day, Mummy and Amachi decided to kill the chicken and make chicken curry. How many of you like chicken curry? Oh, Deepa loves chicken curry. So chicken curry was there right in front of her. She didn't know. She said, this chicken curry tastes so good, Mummy. Wow. So Mummy said, that's P.T. Usha, right there. She broke into tears and that's it, So that's what the animals, yeah. Paro eventually died one day, so I don't know if she even came to know about it. Papa kept saying Paro's alive, but Paro wasn't. Then, jokes aside, Deepa, jokes aside, she is a generous person. And she has a very big heart, a heart that's open for anyone in this world. She's forgiving and always open to talk and, conceal with people. She is more patient than any of us at home. When I look at Deepa and Royce today, I feel overwhelmed with joy and emotions. I know that Deepa has found her true match because I'm the one who was behind her matchmaking. And I know that this is the union in God's perfect plan, and there's so much in store for you both. You will become a blessing for many people in the coming days. You may not see it now, but it is coming. It is coming very soon. And Royce, I thank God for you. You are such a sweetheart. You're super talented, very spiritual, easy to talk to. And you have a great sense of humor. And everybody likes you. Our husbands, everybody, our family, everybody love you. And you like to pick on Deepa, which is what exactly we do, you know? So that's great. You're all that and more than what we ask God for. Deepa, one thing we guys have in common is being pastor's kids, you know? We're pastor's kids. We know what we went through. So that's what's common, and that's what, you know, we have in common. We are very happy to welcome you into our family. We know you are made for us, and I hope we're made for you. We're super excited to have another brother, but I hope you are mentally, physically, and emotionally ready to have two sisters like us. 2 secrets about a long-lasting and happy married life comes from both of us. It's first a good sense of humor, you have it. And the second one is short memory. Guys, short memory, right? You are 2 special and remarkable people, but together you are complete. We love you very much. We really do, and God bless you guys. I didn't go emotional at all. Come here.
Let's give them one more round of applause. Thank you guys for sharing those words. Never before have I seen a stronger bond between brothers as Royce and Royce. And so I can almost guarantee that Royce has been preparing for this very moment his entire life. They grew up together, spent almost every moment together. And basically, they're an example of what brotherhood should be. So at this moment, I'd like to invite Royce up to the front. Let's give him a warm welcome.
As he said, I'm Royce's younger brother by 6 years. But even though we had a huge age difference, God blessed me with a brother with the exact same maturity level, so that was okay. So I'm grateful for that. And Alvin was saying all these stories I was going to tell about embarrassing him and everything like that, but that's not the case. So I'm not going to share about the time you ran over my leg with your car, or the time you left me in New York to hang out with your friends, or the time that you convinced me to get rid of a hemorrhoid with a sticking ice cube up. I'm not going to say that, okay? So that's why we have video. Whose birthday is today?
Mine.
Whose birthday? Whose birthday is today? Roy's birthday?
Anthony.
How old are you, Roy?
Anthony. 5. 5.
5, yeah. When is your birthday, Roy?
12.
Roy, when is your birthday?
August 17.
So today is August 17th? Yeah, that's good. When is your birthday, Sobi?
When is your birthday? Mine. Yeah. Come on, you look at.
Somebody told me it's your birthday. I want to put my candle. What the hell is my candle? Wait. Now get it? Ready?
Okay, sing the song, Happy Birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
To you, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Okay, blow the...
Come on, I realized it was more embarrassing since for Sobi than it was for my brothers. Sorry about that. Also for Chechi for that wonderful dressing attire. But honestly, apart from all the jokes and everything, like Alvin said, we have a very close bond, despite the fact that we were 6 years apart, because our parents always locked us in the house, so we only had each other. And in that time that I was in prison basically with him, I learned what an amazing guy this is. I know it sounds cliche to say that about your older brother, but honestly, he was the person who, no matter any event that I had, any basketball game, he was there.
He was the person who bought me basically anything I needed when my parents said no. And despite that, seeing him grow these past few years, not just as, a tall guy, but a spiritual person, somebody who genuinely has a heart for God, it's everything that I want to emulate in my relationship with Christ. And I've seen him go from somebody behind the drums to up front as a worship leader, and seeing so many people experience that relationship with Christ through his worship leading. And it's only been touching my life. And seeing Deepa's impact on his life, seeing how happy she makes him, seeing his door locked for hours so they can talk to each other on the phone, only shows how much they're meant for each other. The fact that they really can't live without each other, even though they've only known each other for such a short time. It really goes to show you, when you find the one, you know it right away. And I'm so happy to have you in my family as my older sister, and I look forward to bothering you for the rest of your life.
I'd like to thank both sets of siblings for the wonderful words of affirmation. You guys have really illustrated just how amazing siblings you guys have. And at this very moment, we're basically going to be taking just a few minutes just to remind you that the gift box is towards the back over to my left. The photo station is available as well. And we ask that you guys go ahead and mingle with the people at your table and try to meet each and every single person that's at your table. Share a fun fact with each other, something that you guys did over the weekend, or your summer plans, or if you guys happen to go to any other weddings throughout the rest of the summer. And we'll be back momentarily. So at this very moment, we're going to be inviting up the father of the bride, who deserves nothing but your utmost respect. At this time, he's going to share a few words of thanks to all those that came near and far. And who knows, there's a rumor that he might even sing a little bit of a song for us. So stay tuned. And at this moment, we're going to invite Reverend Abraham Mammon. Let's give him a warm welcome.
It's so wonderful to be in this beautiful celebration. I want to thank each one of you all for making this happen. I'm excited. I'm grateful. There's so much of mixed feelings inside me. It's like, imagine in the past 3 years, all my 3 daughters are married. And we are happy to be connected with Pastor Skaria. And we love this boy, Royce. From the time we met him, we love him, a good musician. And he told me, he said, Papa, if you're going to say thanks, you must play the guitar. I said, I don't know about playing guitar. He said, you don't give me any other present. I said, I gave you the best. But he said, you must play guitar. I said, I play softer. Thank you. I said, I will play guitar for you, son, just for you. This is for not anybody else, okay? Just a little bit, I'll try to. At this time, I want to thank the people who came from far away just for this wedding. My eldest daughter's in-laws, Mr. De Cruz, all the way from London. Thank you. Reverend George Thomas and family, Mr. Joseph Thomas, Mr. Daniel Thomas, my brother-in-law, Raju, all the way from Florida, Pastor William Atkinson. He's gone back because his flight he was late for the flight and he just left. Pastor Atkinson from Baytown, Texas. Mr. Karthik Brainy, are you here? Brainy hasn't come? No, he didn't make it, okay. Mr. Shibu, Mr. Jace Thomas and family, Reverend Shaji Karakal, my dear friend and brother. Thank you, Shaji. Love you, man. Mr. and Mrs. Sam and family, Ashok Ramesh and family, thank you. Mr. Biju and family, Abraham Varghese. I'm grateful for this event. There's so much to say, but I will sing a song for you. Srishti, how can we forget you, Srishti? Thank you for coming, my daughter's colleagues. Thank you for coming. And if I've left out anyone, Sam and family, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Late Pastor O.C. Baby's children. I know Pastor O.C. Baby from Abu Dhabi. It's a joy to have you all with us this evening. I will say it all in a song. I can only say abundance of grace, as Paul said, is upon me. I can say it now. And I'll give thanks to God for all of that. Yes, sir. Deserves all the glory. Nobody but Jesus. I'll never be able to sing it. I'll try to sing it. Thank you, Lord. Just. Say thanks for the things you have done for me, the things so undeserved, yet you give to prove your love for me. The voices of a million angels drank high would not express my gratitude. All that I am and ever want to be, I give it all to thee. To God
you so much for taking the time to share that amazing talent with all of us. I think that's a moment that we will never forget, am I right? Has anybody ever shredded an electric guitar at a wedding reception? Absolutely not. We thank you so much for that amazing, amazing tribute. And at this moment, I'd like to invite up Brother Gijo Augusti to share a few words of recognition for those that have traveled both near and far for Royce's side of the family. Let's give him a warm welcome as he makes his way up.
Hi everybody. Hello my friends and family. I'm also a good singer, but I don't want to spoil the mood that created by Pastor Abraham Mammon. That's why I'm not going to sing this time. In some other occasion, definitely I will sing for it. I'm so happy to welcome the family on behalf of Pastor Skaria and first of I'm going to say thanks for all the people who gathered here on behalf of Royce and Deepa's wedding. And sincerely, I wish all the best married life for your for Royce and Deepa for your life. And I'm going to call the name number one, Mr. and Mrs. Quillian George from Florida. Second one, Mr. and Mrs. Joseph Koshi, New Jersey. The third one, Mr. and Mrs. Abraham Matthew from New Jersey. Mrs. Lovely Varghese from Dallas. Mr. and Mrs. N.A. Varghese from New York. Mr. and Mrs. Thomas Samuel from New York. Mr. and Mrs. Urvila George from New Jersey. Mr. Shaji Abraham and family from New Jersey. Mr. Gijo Augusti and family from Dallas. Mr. and Mrs. Anson Matthew from Kansas. Mr. Lijo Matthew and family from Dallas. Mr. Jensen Koshi and family from New Jersey. Mrs. Lovely Patel from Florida. Mrs. Shirley George from Florida. Mrs. Julie Samuel from Florida. Mr. Jobin Thomas from Houston. Mr. Sam Jacob family from Pennsylvania. Mr. and Mrs. Joby Varghese from Oklahoma. Mr. Johnson Matthew and family from Oklahoma. Mr. Joseph Palamatam and family from New Jersey. Reverend Rajan Varghese from Houston. Mr. Glanson Cherian and family from New York. Mr. and Mrs. George Matthew from New York. Mr. P.K. George from Houston. Mr. Roy Matthew and family from New York. Reverend Sam George and family from Dallas. Mr. Cherian Matthew and family from New Jersey. Mrs. Darlene Stephen, Dallas, Texas. Mrs. Dolly Varghese, Dallas. Mrs. D.T. Sibi, Oklahoma. Reverend Varghese, Puduva and family from Canada. Reverend Mrs. Babu Padnyarekara from Canada. Mr. Sam Padnyarekara and family from Canada. Mr. Manu Isaac and family from Houston. Reverend and Mrs. Thomas Kutipurdu. Mr. Sam Thomas and family from New York. Reverend Mrs. Varghese Chirupurdu. Once again, I express my sincere thanks for all the family who came here. Okay? Thank you.
We have another surprise for you guys. We just need about 2 minutes to set up for that. So please bear with us and we'll be back. All right, everybody. Royce and his groomsmen have gotten along so well over the years because they share one commonality. They work hard and they play harder. So today we've asked them to set aside all maturity and indulge themselves in a friendly game, actually a not so friendly game of musical chairs. Would you guys like to see that? Right? Sounds fun, right? Here's the catch. You guys are fighting for the love of Royce. The only winner, the last person left, loves Royce the most. Now from this table itself, who loves Royce the most? All right, so right now, Sophie's going to be the official winner, but everyone else, I guess you guys can make some noise. Yeah! There it is. So I'm going to ask all the groomsmen to please pick a seat in the middle of the dance floor. Now I'm sure everyone here understands how the games of musical chairs work, but just to explain, what's going to happen is you all will be taking a seat. Thompson, on top of the staircase, will be playing a song. He will be dictating. I have no control over it, but he will be dictating when the song starts and when it ends. When it ends, everyone needs to make sure that they have a seat behind them. At that moment, one seat will be removed. Everyone understand the nature of the game and how it works? All right, guys. So at this moment, we're going to ask each and every single one of you to stand up. You guys, but the groomsmen, stand up and begin. No cheating. You want to take your formal human steps, not the giant run steps. Where are we going? Wait a minute. We're going to be going clockwise. We'll follow Prince. So you're cheating already.
See that, right?
So that means he loves you so much that he's willing to cheat for you, Royce. Even basics. Who else has seen? Oh, I'm so sorry. Your name, sir? Jensen. Jensen, do you still love Royce? Yes. All right, guys, we're up. Was that a shove, everybody? You be the judge. Was that a shove?
That's a flagrant. That's a flagrant.
I heard
That's
it
a
was
flagrant.
flagrant. We're
That's a
going to let it
flagrant.
pass because all the refs around us at this time said nothing about it. We're going to have to let it slide. Your name, sir? Joel. Joel, do you still love Roy? Of course. Not as bad as these guys are. All right, guys, we're up. We'll move a chair. We'll leave 2 chairs there. All right, guys. We're going to start it right back up. But before we do that, face off the cheers of the audience. Who thinks that my brother right here is going to win? He's speechless. All right. Who thinks Duffle's going to win? All right, everyone has his money on Duffle. Let's do it. Devil was the favorite, but he couldn't make the cut. Now we're down to 2 people. Remove 1 chair.
Ross, no pressure.
All right.
No pressure. You are Ross. All right, dance a little bit.
Let's make some noise, guys. Whoever's doing that. Keep going. Let's give it up for Ron's. Your brother of the group. We thank you guys for being among you. Amazing job. You look good doing it as well. All right, guys. At this time, just a few more moments. We ask that you sit tight. Food will be out momentarily. It's on its way out at this moment.
explanation I can't find. Is the love that I found ever since you've been around? Your love set me at the top of the world. Thank you.
Absolutely incredible job. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to ask that the bride and groom remain where they are. Does anybody know what's about to happen? It's the infamous shooting. Here, we're going to see just how well both the bride and groom know each other. So as they take their seat, I'm going to ask that each one of them take off one of their shoes. All right, so we need you to hold on to your partner's shoe. And as I ask a series of questions, so you also will be holding on to whatever your shoes is. So both shoes will be on there. And basically, if I use the instructions of the game, I'm going to ask a series of questions. As I ask each question, each person, both Royce and Deepa, will hold up the shoe of the corresponding person that the answer relates to. For example, if I were to say, who has longer hair? I hope that, exactly, Royce did it well. Or if I were to say, who has a longer beard? Oh, no one saw that. All right, so both shoes are in both hands. Wonderful. Everybody understand the rules of the game. You guys excited to play, referees? Amazing. All right, let's get started. For the very first question, Royce and Deepa, who spends more money? Now I'm going to ask, there's a bride, there's the groomsmen, the bridesmen have to agree with that assessment. Who spends more money? Royce is right. Does Deepa spend more money? However, Deepa says that Royce spends more money. But the bridesman has admitted that Royce is right, and Deepa does spend more money. All right, number 2. Who will be most likely to wake up early? This marriage is off to a wonderful start, I'd say. All right, so basically, Deepa, you guys get opposite answers. All right, number 3. Who is the better dresser? They both agree Royce really had to double check his best. All right. One of my favorite questions. Who starts the argument? All right. Number 5. I'm sorry, who's the first to start? Everyone said Deepa was the first to start the arguments, right? Who is the first to say I'm sorry? So Deepa starts the argument, but she's also the first to say I'm sorry. I think that's a beautiful balance. All right. Who will be in control of the television remote? You guys move in. Who is more likely to be running late? Deepa says Royce, Royce says Deepa. Who will be doing the cooking? Tread carefully, Royce. Both shoes up. Both shoes just line up. Involuntarily, nonetheless, both will be helping. All right, who said, I love you first? Think back to WhatsApp. Royce says Deepa was the first one. Deepa doesn't want to admit it just yet, but she knows she's putting it out. All right, then. Okay, who takes longer to All right, who is always right? Careful. Just like the cooking. Not both. Put Deepa up, man. Deepa says Royce. Royce says Royce. You are right. All right. Number 13. Who cleans more? Right. No hesitation. No hesitation. And Deepa agreed as well. All right. Here's my favorite question. Close it out. Royce and Deepa, who do you love more than anyone right now? Deepa and Royce. False. It's God. He's the foundation of your marriage. Oh, goodness. I'm just kidding. Amazing job, guys. Let's give it up for them one more time. Girls are going to take a few minutes for them to put their shoes on, so give us a couple minutes and desserts will begin to make its way out in just a few minutes.
So, both Deepa and I, we would like to thank everyone for coming and being a part of our special day. It wouldn't be special without each and every one of you here. All the ministers who've come from near and far, we would like to thank each and every one of you. We would like to thank every family, friend, relative, co-worker, everyone. We would like to thank each and every one of you for being a part of our special day, making it special for us. We would like to thank, most importantly, we would like to thank God for bringing us together, and this is only the grace of God that all this happened. So everything you see here, that's only God. So we just want to give Him the glory. Thank you.